Hello and welcome to February. We're going to focus on our flower of the month this month, which is the rose. Being Valentine's Day, obviously roses are always associated with love and romance, but we thought maybe you might like to know a little bit more about buying and conditioning, how to care for the roses so you get the absolute best out of them. So there are several tips and hints which I'm about to explain to you, so hopefully they'll prove helpful. Do feel able to ask any questions and we will be more than happy to answer you in the best way that we can. So as first and foremost, as a general rule of thumb, when you're buying roses, the longer the stem, the larger the head. Now I'm going to try and illustrate this for you. For example, I have an 80 centimetre avalanche here and a 50 centimetre avalanche. And as you can see, it stands to reason that the 80 centimetre ones have been growing out a little bit longer than the 50 centimetres. So you do usually find that with a longer stem, you get a much more sturdy, solid stem length. You can see there is quite a substantial difference there between the 50 centimetre stem and the 80. So if you're using roses for something architectural like a pedestal or something along those lines, probably best to go for something that's got a long stem, even if you don't need the entire stem, because you will actually get that extra strength and support in the stem where you need it. So just to give you a bit of an indication here on head sizes, it's not absolutely quite so prevalent in the size of the head, but you will find the depth of the head is usually a little bit bigger, so therefore you've got more petals, it'll open up more, you'll have a bigger finished bloomed rose. So that's your 80 and your 50 centimetre avalanche. Now I would say avalanche would be termed as probably one of the larger headed roses. The shortest stem that we tend to sell is a 40 centimetre. Now just to show you the complete extreme, I've got some 40 centimetre baby face roses here. Now you can already see there is absolutely no comparison whatsoever in the head sizes. Now as the usual saying goes, you get what you pay for. So if you see a rose advertised for 25, 30p, and there's another rose very similar that's advertised for sort of 90 pence or £1, you can see what a difference you're going to get. So it's kind of common sense to a certain extent that you do get what you pay for. 40 centimetre roses absolutely have their place. If you're doing jam jar arrangements, you're doing something light and delicate, cake flowers or something that requires that smaller head, then going for a 40 centimetre would naturally give you a smaller head. Having said that, variety does also dictate the head size. For example, if you bought a 40 centimetre avalanche, you're still going to get a larger head than you would if you bought a 40 centimetre baby face. So if you ever do need any advice on the varieties that you're buying, do give us a call, because we're more than happy to talk you through the head sizes. Obviously if you're expecting a large headed rose and something like this turns up, you're going to be disappointed. I've also got another variety of rose here that I've bought in. Now this is on a 40 centimetre, but again, just to illustrate, they're the same stem length, but the three different varieties have completely differing head sizes. So again, it's all about knowing the variety, so do please call us if you want some information on what to select. When you're purchasing the roses on our website, you will find that they are graded. We have two grades. We have A1, which is the better grade that you can buy, and we have BA, which is best available. Now the BA are not a poor quality, it's just they've been graded differently. By that I'll show you what I mean. So you'll find if you buy a BA that you get differing head sizes within the bunch usually. So as you can see, this rose is quite tiny compared to this one, which is quite a bit larger. You can see you've got the different head sizes. Also you might find that you get some kinked stems. So as you can see there, that head is not exactly pristine, it's going off at an angle. And again, that's a slightly curved stem as well. So they're not poor quality roses. They will open and develop, and they are lovely and tight. So they're beautiful roses. It's just they're not quite so pristine, perhaps not graded so perfectly as maybe the 80 centimetre ones that I showed you earlier would be. Now it's a little bit like buying your pink lady apples, if you like, from a high-end supermarket, as opposed to perhaps going to your local farm shop and getting them some windfalls and what have you. You buy the same product, but some are not quite so pristine as the high-end graded ones. So that's the difference really. And you can find out what you're buying by clicking on the image of the product that you want to purchase, and it takes you to our website takes you to another page where it does actually explain to you whether it's an A1 or a BA. That just gives you an idea. I mean, there are definitely a place for both types. Personally, I would always buy a A1 grade rose for wedding work, bouquets and things like that, whereas I'd be happy to buy a BA, perhaps for table arrangements, something that doesn't need anything that's quite so pristine. You just need the head as opposed to the whole stem. So yeah, hope that's been helpful.